If you were a Marvel superhero, who do you think you'd be? Actually, any superhero. Let's not just say Marvel. Marvel's like, the cool one.
Oh yeah, Joe Cool is so cool. I'd have to say Captain Planet. He's my hero.
Is he gonna
Yeah.
take pollution down to zero?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not just a captain of America. He's captain of the whole planet.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's in charge of
He's
the
in charge of
entire
Captain.
planet.
Yeah, he's
But
in
like
charge of-
just Earth, or is he in charge of like other planets?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to talk to him about that.
The trick, though, we have blow-up paddle boards, and so that's a big obstacle. It's convenient because I live in a small place, so they're very small and they're folded up. They don't take up a lot of room, but it's super inconvenient every time you take them out there. We start off with 3 pumps. We're down to 1.
Sounds like us.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's a solid workout before you get on the paddleboard. The brains are stable but plastic, so they're always making new connections. That's some of that phenomenon that you're experiencing when you're dreaming. And so if you're sober and you're no longer exposing yourself to that toxin, you're getting some good sleep, you're eating well, your body is always learning and updating as best it can. So even if there is damage, you can regain some of that. And even if some of that damage is permanent, it doesn't mean that there's a ton of opportunities out there on the floor. I would argue that if you haven't slept 8 hours in the last 3 days a night, there is some type of opportunity there that you've done damage. Now, if most of us live in a chronic sleep deprived state, some of that feels permanent, but as soon as you get a few nights of sleep in a row, it immediately starts coming back. So
Hypnotherapy. What do your clients primarily use it for?
great question. A lot of people think of hypnotherapy as like smoking cessation or weight loss. Those are like their 2 standard belief systems when it comes to that. But there's this really interesting conversation for people that have like been watching how trauma kind of unfolds I do this thing. I don't know why I do it, but anytime I'm in this situation, I do this thing and I know it's wrong and I want to stop it. And it could be smoking. It could be eating when you're bored, but it could be a lot of other different types of behaviors. And so most people go to hypnotherapy to get a behavior or a habit change, like biting their nails. But most of the time we're doing that activity or that habit out of a sense of trying to gain some type of control or self-soothe ourselves. And it means the environment we're in triggers some type of emotion or memory, whether we're aware of it or not, that makes us act in a way that if we think about it, we're like, it doesn't make sense. I don't like it that I do that, but I can't help but do it. And so when those 2 things misalign, typically something about that environment is creating a sense of a traumatic response in the body to help protect you. And then whatever behavior we do to kind of protect ourselves, to feel comfortable, is what most people go to therapy and specifically hypnotherapy for. If you can be relaxed and be in the face of a trauma, whether that's in your imagination or in real life, then that incident is no longer traumatizing for you. It's just something that happened to you in the past, and it's an integrated experience, and you can go on living your life without having to be always stuck doing these habits that try to make you feel okay.
How did you get into hypnotherapy to begin with?
I've always been on the table first before I've ever been a practitioner. So there's a lot of different tools out there, and they don't always work for everybody. Some people work better for some work for others. And I'm always in there. So when I experience something that doesn't work for me, I'm like, oh, what else is option out there? Hypnotherapy was something that I thought sounded interesting. I tried it. I saw a huge change. I was less of an asshole to everybody around me in my life, and they seemed to appreciate that. So that was good for me and them. Yeah, so then I got more and more interested in how did it work? Why does it work? What is it good for? How can you help use it with people? What do they need it for?
How do you personally handle your triggers or trauma? And how does it affect you physically and mentally?
If ever you have a question for a therapist that you're considering enlisting their services, always ask, so who's your therapist, or what type of therapy has been most helpful for you? Because if they've never had an experience with it themselves, it makes it hard for them to relate to you. And that's true of every profession, right? For me personally, I use a lot of the same interventions with my clients that I recommend that I use on myself. So a lot of those are physiological based interventions. So things that change your heart rate, change your breath respiratory pattern, change the way that your body's creating tension in it. And if we can get those to relax, then your body kind of goes, oh, this is a little different sensation. It makes it easier to keep logic, reason, and willpower on, and it makes it easier to learn so you can respond instead of just react to situations. So one of the most common ones that people are aware of that helps me a lot is something called box breathing, where you just take an inhale through the nose, hold it for 4, breathe out through the mouth, hold it for 4, and repeat 4 times.
We've been clenching our fists, tightening our jaw, breathing in and doing Kegels for the past like 60 some odd days. Dude, that was your last advice, right?
So that one's when you're getting pissed off and angry at each other and you still can't escape the house and you need to like do something with that. The other one's after they've left the room and you're like, you know, or you shut the door to the bathroom because, you know, that's another place. And then you need to cool down so you can rest and digest. That's that second half. Yeah.
Oh, rest and digest in the bathroom. Great advice.
Rest and digest.
Yeah. From Into Guided Hands, have Garrett explain the lemon theory on hypnotherapy. What's the lemon theory?
If you imagined like a big, juicy, sour, yellow lemon, and if you were to like imagine someone cutting into that, or slicing it, or pulling it apart, or squeezing it, and you felt your taste buds kind of change, you kind of got some more saliva going in your mouth, then the argument is you are in a hypnotic state because you can imagine something just by thinking of it and having a visceral response in your body responding to that imagination.
I just felt that.
Yeah,
though.
me too.
I
think we're in hypnosis right now. What type of personality traits would make someone more susceptible to hypnosis?
Being a human. Yeah. That's the personality trait.
What have you seen in your practice and in your personal opinion what we should be starting to do as this continues on and on and on and on?
Doing something that's actually fun and you enjoy doing. That you can do at home, socially isolated, that doesn't cost you money or doesn't create a dependency habit. So whatever that list is for you, which could be different, because some of those things are fun too. Shopping is fun. Waiting for packages to show up on the door as Amazon are fun. Some of those could be alcoholic beverages, and those are fun too. There's lots of different types of coping mechanisms, but if you can find one in addition to all of those that doesn't have any negative externalities, it could be coloring. Some people, it could be learning an instrument. But the goal isn't to be having this like accomplishment thing at the end where you're like, look what I did during COVID. It's to be like, no, this is actually fun. Now that FOMO is not a thing anymore, I can actually focus on something that I enjoy doing just because it's worth doing in of itself. When Instagram started, right, every influencer built a career off of making other people feel FOMO. Now that they're all off of there and it's just the two of you all over Instagram and no one else to even watch or pay attention to, it's no longer about FOMO that we're experiencing. It's just this feeling of anxiousness, like what's next? What am I missing? Am I doing enough? Isn't it? And I think that we're all feeling a sense of that, like lack of safety or security. Dealing with anxiety is a little bit different than dealing with fear of missing out. They're both similar responses. Anxiousness is trying to find something to combat anxiousness would be trying to find something that you actually truly enjoy without any endeavor, without any judgment, without any perfectionism. And if you can find that, you have like a little bit of an insight to reducing the anxiety when it comes on.
Garrett, are you a fan of coffee? I believe I've seen about 68 photos of you looking away, smiling, drinking a cup.
But he never drinks it.
Never drinks it.
He just looks at it.
It's too pretty to drink. Those cold brews with like no, I love coffee. I probably have drank more coffee than anything else today.
Oh, really?
That makes 3 of us.
Yeah, there you go. I think Into Guided Hands wins the emoji contest with the coffee today, Chris.
Wow.
As she just put the massage one, which was not Garrett's favorite, but what we put in our Instagram post promoting his appearance today. So I think we give Aunt Didi it. Round of applause, Ryan. Round of applause?
Wow.
No? We'll just do that instead. Yay!